Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. This program is a puja, a planetary puja, that we're doing Monday through Friday on this channel, using the chart of now, which means using the chart that shows where the planets and stars are based off of my location, which is right now here in Florida. Dr. Pillai has said, the foundation of all religions is love, and it is his desire that through the Religion of Religions YouTube channel to unite the many different sects of all religions by meeting in the spiritual realm, by meeting in the heart. We believe in the supreme divine power taking form in all gods and goddesses from every religion, and we celebrate their existence on planet Earth. The intention is also to give an authentic experience of God, the experience of divine love, where there is no separation from each other. So thank you for joining us for this planetary puja. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting these calls. The planets and the stars are more than just physical objects in outer space. They all have a being of light associated with them. So we are doing puja, honoring these various beings of light and making ourselves receptive to their positive blessings, inviting their positive blessings to come into our life and also to come onto our planet. So thank you for joining us. The chart that we're working with today is a South Indian chart, a sidereal chart, and this is showing where planets are based off my location right now in Florida. This is the South Indian style chart. Each of these boxes is a different zodiac sign, and below the video in the show more area, there's a link for a tutorial video about the South Indian style chart if you're not familiar with this layout. So Dr. Pillai had said that we would work with this chart, and he asked me and Raja, Mina's brother, to draw this on a chalkboard. So on a side table, I have this chart drawn in chalk. And as we do the puja, I'm going to be putting flower petals in different places on the chart as we go along. Flowers have tremendous purity. And when we say mantras or prayers while we're holding a flower and offering a flower, that flower has enough purity to take those sounds right into the causal plane and actually update our own Akashic records. So that's a reason why we use flowers in some of the rituals. Many religions use flowers just because they have so much purity in them. So Dr. Pillai had said that we would do this puja using flower petals. I also have a little container of water, and right now I'm taking a few drops of water and sprinkling it to all four sides of the chalkboard, creating a purified space, putting a drop of water over my own head to purify me, and sending a little drop of water out into space towards you guys to purify those of you who are watching live or listening later on the recording, so that we're all participating in the puja in a sacred space. We start with first invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles. We're going to use the mantra Om Sring, S-R-I-N-G, Gung, G-U-N-G. Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja. Next, we do a short Tamil chant asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. I did put a link towards that chant earlier in the chat space up above if you want to follow along with the words. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atyar Arvar Kumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atyar Arvar Kumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atyar Arvar Kumikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial towards us, and we thank the Tamil saint, Yana Samundar, who gave us this chant. And now we are going to turn our attention to the chart of the moment. Dr. Pillai said with the puja, we would start with first honoring the planet that rules the ascendant. The ascendant is the zodiac sign coming up on the eastern horizon right now in my local area. Right now, that's the sign of Leo. This little AC stands for ascendant. He said we would start by invoking the planet that rules the ascendant. Leo is ruled by the sun. So I'm going to chant for the sun, and I'll put flower petals on top of the sun as I chant for him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. I did put a chant for a link for the chants for all the planets earlier up in the chat if you want to see what the mantras are for the different planets if you're new to this. After invoking the planet that rules the ascendant, he said we go to the first sign going in a clockwise direction from the ascendant that has a planet in it. This is the sign of Libra, which has Ketu. Libra is a sign of balance and harmony. Ketu is sometimes called the saintly planet. We honor Ketu, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Oops, I need to back up for just a moment. Before we started working with the chart, I was supposed to invoke the planet that rules the day, the star, the Tithi, the Hora, the Yoga, and the Karana. So let me back up for just a moment. The planet that's ruling today, Monday, is the moon. So I'm going to honor the moon and put flower petals on top of him because he's ruling the day. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. The moon is currently in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. We honor that star, and I put the flower petals on top of the moon. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Next, we invoke the Tithi, or the moon phase. The moment we're in the 6th waning moon, which is called Shasti in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said we would honor the moon phase by using the Sanskrit name followed by the word Devi, which is invoking the light being associated with that moon phase. And I put the flower petals on top of the moon. Om Shasti Devye Namaha. Om Shasti Devye Namaha. Om Shasti Devye Namaha. Next, we invoke the planet that rules the hour. The moment where I am, the hora, or the hour, is being ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on top of Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Dr. Pillai said that we could say the names of the yoga and the karana, which are two additional time shaktis, but we wouldn't put flower petals for them. The yoga element right now is Atiganda, which has energies of danger. Atiganda, Atiganda, Atiganda. And the karana right now is Garija, which has energies of increased effort. Garija, Garija, Garija. So now that we've invoked the time shaktis of the moment, we can return to the chart. I'm sorry for skipping that part. So we had just invoked in the chart, we had just invoked Ketu. And now I'm going to honor the star that Ketu is in. And when I do that, I'll put the flower petals on top of Ketu. Ketu is in the star of Vishaka. He's a star that has very competitive energies, likes to have success and victory. We honor this star. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by two archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings of leadership and courage. And Agni, the god who rules fire, can give energies of transformation and even purification. We honor them both, asking for power and purity. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Vishaka star, which is Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Tula or Libra, which is Venus. We honor Venus, and I put flower petals on top of Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a sign of balance and harmony, today containing Ketu, the saintly planet, a planet that helps us to have longing for liberation. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Going in a clockwise direction from Ketu, the next sign that has planets in it is Makara or Capricorn, a sign of ancient past life skills and abilities. Today he has Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde. We start with honoring Pluto. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto is in the star of Uttarashada. This is one of the stars of success energies. And in particular, it can give energies for long-lasting success. Now, Pluto himself can sometimes have energies of destruction. So it could also be that he's dissolving things in our life that are not set up for long-lasting success. We honor Uttarashada star. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the Visvadevas, 10 archetypes who have each represent a particular divine universal principle. We honor these amazing beings. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Next, we honor the planet that rules Uttarashada star, which is the sun. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on top of the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we turn our attention to Saturn for being in Makara or Capricorn. Saturn right now is retrograde and he's extra powerful. We honor Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta. Dhanishta has energies of wealth and prosperity, and it's also associated with music and desire for good reputation. We honor the being of this star. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus. These are beings of light who each rule different spheres of existence. We honor them, and I put the flower petals on top of Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put flower petals on top of Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Makara or Capricorn, which happens to be Saturn. Again, we honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign of ancient past life skills and abilities, today containing Pluto, a planet that Dr. Pillai says can help us with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can help us with patience and discipline and structure. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Meena or Pisces, which today contains Neptune retrograde, the moon, and Jupiter. When we started 2 weeks ago, the moon was over here in Leo. So you can see that the moon moves rather quickly. He's going rather quickly around the chart on a regular basis. So now he's all the way over to Pisces. We start with honoring Neptune, who's retrograde. I put flower petals on top of him. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada, a star with the fire of Kundalini, a star that has energies that help purify us. Om Purva Padaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Purvabhadrapada star is ruled by an archetype called Aja Ekapada, who is often shown having 1 foot. He stands on 1 foot very solidly. And he is someone that can help us to experience the energies of silence and also forgiveness. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Purvabhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Next, we're going to honor the moon and also Jupiter before we invoke the star, because both the moon and Jupiter are in the same star. We start with honoring the moon. I put flower petals on top of him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Next, we honor Jupiter because he and the moon are both in the same star. I put flower petals on top of Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the star that both the moon and Jupiter are in, which is Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Pillai has said this is a star that can help us with business development. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Arbundya, an archetype who can help with actually guarding our treasures or our precious things. We invoke the blessings of this being. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Meena or Pisces, which is Jupiter. Again, we honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena or Pisces, the most metaphysical and the most transcendental of all the zodiac signs, today containing Neptune, a planet that helps with intuition and ability to understand our inner self, the moon, which is our mind and our emotions, and Jupiter, planet that helps us with spiritual teachings and relationship with our spiritual teachers, as well as a planet that can help us with wealth and help us with all legal and banking matters. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Mars, Uranus, and Rahu. Last week when we were doing this, Mars was in a different star from Uranus and Rahu, but now he's moved on. And so now all 3 of them right now are in the same star. So we're going to invoke all 3 of these planets before we invoke the star. We start with invoking Mars, and I put the flower petals on top of Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Next, we're going to invoke Uranus. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Next, we invoke Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Mars, Uranus, and Rahu today are all in the same star, a star called Bharani. Bharani star is symbolized with the yoni, which is a symbol that represents the female private parts. This is a star with tremendous divine feminine energies, a star that has tremendous feminine Shakti or power or energy. We honor the being of this star, and I put the flower petals across all three of those planets. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Bharani is ruled by Yama, an archetype who helps with justice. He also is a planet associated with death. So again, it could trigger some dissolution of something that's maybe outdated or outmoded in our life. The energy to help us to change that. We honor Yama. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by the planet Venus. We honor Venus, and I put flower petals on top of Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Misha or Aries, which is Mars. Again, we honor Mars, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign, a sign of tremendous active energy, today containing Mars, a warrior healer planet. Uranus, a planet that helps with high intelligence and innovation and success in life, and also astrology. And Rahu, a planet who helps us to think outside the box, and also a planet who helps us to make friends with new technologies. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Mithuna or Gemini, which today contains Venus. We honor Venus, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus right now is in a star of Mrigashira, a star that has a lot of curiosity energies that helps us to be open to learning new things, being willing to have new experiences. We honor the being of this star. Om Mrigashiraye Namaha. Om Mrigashiraye Namaha. Om Mrigashiraye Namaha. Mrigashira's star is ruled by Soma, one of the forms of the moon. This is a rather liquidy form, and this is associated with the energy of a divine nectar. We invoke Soma, and I put the flower petals on top of Venus because he's the one in the star. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Mrgashira star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put flower petals on top of Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Matuna or Gemini, which is Mercury. I put flower petals on top of Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Matuna or Gemini, a sign with a great range of energies, today containing Venus. Venus among the planets is considered to be the nurse. He has tremendous healing energies. The father of Venus in the Vedic tradition is Bhargu, who belongs to the Bhargava clan, a clan of warriors. And he was famous for teaching astrology and for doing fire ceremonies. And he taught his son, who was Venus, he taught him many esoteric things, including the mantra to even bring the dead back to life. So Venus has, among other things, tremendous healing energies. It's also associated, of course, with enjoyment of material comforts. So he's sitting in the sign of Matuna or Gemini. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Karkata or Cancer, which today contains Mercury and the Sun. Last Friday, both of them were in Pisces, but over the weekend, they've both moved now into this sign. So first, we honor Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. I'm sorry, I took that out of order. We should have started with honoring the sun because he's in there at a more shallow degree. We're going to honor the sun. I'm sorry. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The sun is in the star of Purnavasu, a star that has freedom-loving energies. We honor this star. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Purnavasu star is ruled by Aditi, an amazing goddess who is the mother of many of the other archetypes, including our own sun. We honor her. Om Aditye Namaha. Om Aditye Namaha. Om Aditye Namaha. Purnavasu star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor Mercury for being in Cancer. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Mercury is in the star of Pushya. Pushya is symbolized with the cow's udder. It has tremendous energies of nourishment, and it's considered to be the most spiritually auspicious of all the stars. We honor Pushya. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Pushya is ruled by Brihaspati, a special form of Jupiter in which he is the spiritual teacher form. We honor Brihaspati. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Pushya's star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Karkata or Cancer is ruled by the moon. We honor the moon, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkata or Cancer, the most emotionally sensitive of all the zodiac signs, today containing the sun, which is our soul, and also has life-giving energies, and Mercury, planet of communication, and also planet that helps with all forms of buying and selling things. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now I'm taking a lit tea light and I'm holding it over the blackboard that has the chalkboard chart that has all the little flower petals on it now. I'm holding it above that, and I'm taking that in a clockwise direction in the air above the chart and the flower petals, offering the element of light to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked. Now I'm taking a little fan because I have a housemate who's sensitive to scent. Some of you could use a lit incense stick if you like. And I'm waving the fan gently above the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction over the chart and the flower petals, offering the element of air to all these divine beings that we've just invoked. And now I'm offering the element of the bell, waving that 3 times, offering the element of sound. Now we make a sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked. Picture them as very happy with you and ask them for their positive blessings for yourself, your family, your friends, your household, your workplaces, your schools, and your communities, your countries, and indeed for the entire planet. And we pray to them, may everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. And I make a bow. You can continue making your personal prayers for just a minute, and then I can take questions and answers if you have them. So now for a few moments, well, first let me do a closing chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May everyone go about their day or their evening in peace. Now for a few minutes, I can take questions if you have any. You're welcome to post them in the chat on the YouTube. And I'd like to thank you for attending. We'll be doing this puja Monday through Friday on this channel. And as you'll see, as we do it every day, you'll see that the planets do move and change signs, they change stars, and it makes the energies shift and change. And yes, as Evelyn is saying, if you could please hit the like button on the YouTube or subscribe to the channel. Dr. Pillai wants for this channel to continue to grow, and your help with that is very appreciated. Right now, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. I know that this is a more advanced form of a puja. We're honoring the planets, we're honoring the stars they're in, the archetypes they're in, the planets that rule the stars and the planets that rule the signs that have planets in them. But as we do that, you start to see some of the interconnections, and you may have your own private realizations. I was looking at 3 planets in the fire sign of Mars, which is a strong fiery energy. And I was realizing that might be part of why I was watching a few episodes of Forged with Fire, a program on Netflix that's about people that go into a program where they're creating knives or swords, in a kind of competition. I find it interesting to watch them create something in the forge. And I was like, oh, the fire energy was really strong. It might be why I was drawn to that. So you might have your own private realizations as we're going around the chart and having your reflections, just realizing how some of these energies are expressing for you in your own life. So I see some thank yous. It's my pleasure to be doing this puja, truly my pleasure. And the gratitude goes to Dr. Pillai for, sponsoring the channel and for teaching the puja, etc. So thank you all for being here. Not seeing any questions, so I'll go ahead and let you all get about your day or your afternoon or your evening. And I'll be here again tomorrow, and hope to see some of you again there. Namaste. Blessings to everyone.